Hello, Fat Grandma here. It is Monday, May 22nd. If you have not been here before, my name is Paula. I have a very tiny eBay store, and I occasionally sell on Poshmark. I have also recently started cross-listing to Mercari. So I'm adding that now to my list of places. I was approved for Whatnot, but I have yet to schedule an auction. I still haven't done it. I don't know when that's going to happen. I need to just do it, and I keep saying that. I need to just do it and get it over with, but I don't know. I have lead in my butt. Anyway, so what I normally do is go through and tell you guys about everything that's sold, and if I made a horrible buy or if I, did good. And, like 80% of the time I made a horrible buy. I overpay for things, and, it's just, I'm still learning. And at this point for me, making a ton of money in eBay is not the objective or the goal. It's keeping me busy. I'm learning some things. It's keeping me busy. So, anyway, I'm gonna break into. I did have a Poshmark sale this week. Woohoo! Those are rare. So, had a Poshmark sale. So I'm gonna talk about that one first, and then I'll go into my eBay sales. And then I will talk to you guys about the other stuff that's going on. Not a lot, but a couple things. Anyway, okay, so the first sale was a Christmas ornament in the box, Nightmare Before Christmas. It was Jack and Sally, and this is the item that sold on Poshmark. Sold for $14. I don't remember what I think I made $9.03, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't leave funds in my account on Poshmark. I don't really with eBay either, unless I have UPS labels that I have forgotten and shipped through eBay, and because they don't charge you until after the item is delivered. I did a video. I had that in one of my videos recently where I was unhappy with that. Anyway, I normally go to Pirate Ship if I'm going to ship on UPS, and every once in a while I forget, and I print the labels on through eBay, and then I have to wait for the funds to come out of the account. So anyway, so that was my Poshmark sale. The ornament was a gift, I think, a couple years ago, and I don't even remember who I got it from, but I don't do a tree, and I have no reason for gifts to just be, ornaments to just be sitting around in a box. So if it's not something I can use or that I will use, I'm selling it. And if it won't sell, I'm donating it. I'm not hanging on to things anymore unless they have a purpose for me, not just for the sake of hanging on to them. Unless it's something that has a really strong sentimental value, I'm not hanging on to it. It's not sticking around. So that's been something that I've started probably in the last 3-4 years. Not accumulating things that I don't need. My mom keeps trying to throw stuff at me, and it's like, no, I'm not ever going to use that. I don't need it, So, you have limited space, and the older you get, the chances are, like, whenever I get moved somewhere, I'm going to be in a tiny area with limited amount of space, and I'd prefer to use that space for my inventory and my supplies, because this is kind of a money-making hobby for me, I guess is the best way to describe what I'm doing with my reselling. And I don't make a lot of money, but I probably, right now anyway, because sales are kind of in the toilet, I'm probably clearing, after all my expenses and fees and boxes and all that stuff, I'm probably clearing around $100 a month, maybe a little bit more, um, and that's maybe 80, like the last month it was like $80 because sales were really horrible. They're starting to get a little bit better, but again, my buys aren't always great, so, I'm just plugging along. um, anyway, so that was my Poshmark sale. Go to my list. The next item I sold, and this is something that I got in an auction lot, and I thought they were really cool, and they were new. They were the Tin Woodsman pewter fish measuring spoon set, and it was really cool. And I thought, oh, for sure someone's going to buy that. It's not going to take very long, And it took a while. I think it's probably been at least 3 months, longer than I thought it would take. And anyway, they ended up selling for $28.50. I did not make a lot on these. I kind of overpaid in the auction because this was one of those auctions where someone was bidding against me on several. It was the same person bidding against me on several items, and there was a couple things I was not letting her win. So I have gotten less competitive when I do auctions now. I'm like, okay, that's all I'm going to pay, and if someone outbids me, yay for them. Anyway, so I didn't make a lot on these, but I did sell them, and I got my money back and made a little bit of profit. So it was $28.50 and $38.08 with shipping. So, and the next item, I thought this was really cute, and this is another auction item that I won. I really didn't make much money on it. I overpaid for this also, but it sold finally. I made my money back and a little tiny bit of profit. It was a ruby-throated hummingbird hinged trinket box, and it was really, it was small. It was very small. It was one of those things that I don't know if guys think like this, but women, I know I'm not the only one, we see little tiny things and we have, oh, it's so cute, and you have to have it. Like even with condiments for my daughter and I, when we would go to the grocery store, if we happened to be somewhere and we'd see like a little tiny mustard or a little tiny, mayonnaise, or we called them vacation sized, so it was vacation size. So this was a vacation size trinket box. It was very cute and very small. Anyway, it sold for $15.99, and with shipping it was $24.54. It was in brand new condition. It was in really good shape. So the next item that sold, I had these listed for a long time, and someone finally bought them. I threw a bunch of things in and just made a lot. It was 4 pieces. English Village, China, Old Staffordshire, Salem. And it was 3 plates and 1 bowl. And the plates weren't all the same size. Anyway, they sold for $14. I think I got an offer on these. And with shipping, it was $24.33. So they were in excellent shape. Like there was no cracks or chips or crazing, nothing. They were very pretty. It didn't surprise me it took a long time for these to sell because the person that bought them was probably looking for the bowl or one of those plates that I had in that lot, and so they just bought all of them. And it wasn't too expensive for all 4 pieces, so maybe they can use all of them, I don't know, but that's gone. So, okay, the next item that sold is something I will not be buying more of, and I've mentioned these before. It was Boyd's Bears, but these were plush. I have some of the little town figures or whatever you want to call them, little buildings also, but these were a set of, I lotted some of the plush up, and these were 3, and they were very small, 4.5 inches to 5.5 inch tall, and 2 of them had tags still. Anyway, the lot sold for $9.60, and with shipping it was $21.20. The next item that sold, and I did not make any money on this. I think I told you guys I was running a sale this past weekend, and so I pretty much broke even on this item, but I'm glad it's gone. It was super heavy and kind of big, It was very weird to ship. I hope it gets there unbroken. I built a box around it and the whole. Whenever I get moved at some point, I will record when I package things up and when I ship things so that you guys can see what I do if I have things that look like they might get broken easier, or if they have weird pieces that stick off or whatever. I I don't. I'm sure other people ship like I do, but I'm very anal about my shipping because I don't want things to get broken. So anyway, I basically built a fort around this rooster after I had put a layer of bubble wrap on it to just keep it from getting scratched or anything. Built a fort with boxes around it and then put some more bubble wrap around that, the bigger bubble wrap. And then I put some angel turds, packing peanuts, in a box. And then I put the rooster in the box, and then I poured around until it was so packed full that I had to pretty much cram the flaps closed to get it to close. I shook, you shake the box, the peanuts or the packing stuff the styrofoam little pieces will shake down and kind of settle a little bit and pour more in. And if I use those, I overpack them just so that the thing can't move. I don't have that many packing peanuts left, and I don't think I'll be buying any more. I very rarely use them, but I did this time. So it's just not something that I use very much. They don't work that great, so I'm just going to use up what I have when I need to, and then that'll probably be it for the packing peanuts. I call them angel turds. People don't even know what I'm talking about. I know some of you have probably heard that term before, though. So anyway, the rooster sold for $18.79, and with shipping, it was $34.16. That was an item that shipped UPS. Okay, these next items were, I lotted them up. They were a set of Gorham Fine China Dawn Whitlatch limited edition plates, and it was a set of 8 plates. They were different birds on each plate, and they were really kind of cool. But I won these at an auction. I think I spent $5 on them, and I sold them for $25. So it was $25, and then with shipping it was $50.66. So they paid the same amount in shipping as they did for the item themselves. I made $21 on that purchase. Actually, probably more like 5 or 15, 16 after all of the shipping materials, packing materials I had to use. I used a lot of stuff to pack up those plates. They did not have the boxes, so, and I put that in the listing, but they didn't have the original packing materials, so I went an extra step with those. And again, someday when I'm moved and I can set up a way to record when I'm packing stuff, I'll show you guys some of the stuff, how I do it. Anyway, I'm pretty good at packing, knock on wood. I've gotten very good at it. The next item I sold was kind of weird. We found it in the expedition in the kitchen. I think that's what I'm just going to call it from now on. Anyway, this was a 1981 Wholesome Bakery 100th year of baking. And if you're not in Arizona, you may have never even heard of Wholesome, or if you've never been here, but it's a brand that has been around since we had Wholesome bread if you drove down the freeway, you'd get to where the factory was, or the plant, whatever you want to call it. You could smell the bread. It was awesome. When I was a kid, and we'd go to my grandparents, you had to drive past the bakery, Anyway, they had a promotional tray that they did for the 100th year in 1981, and my mother had one of them. So it sold for $9.59, and it was part of this. It was on sale. So anyway, with shipping, it was $20.99. So that is it for my sales. I have had a couple of sales today. I'm not going to include those, and this was through Sunday. I sold an item on eBay, and I also sold my first item on Mercari. So I will talk about those next week. I was very surprised that I sold an item on Mercari. I and it was something that I had listed on eBay and Poshmark, and it had watchers, and nobody ever bothered to even make an offer on it. And I believe I got an offer, but she only took $5. The person that made the offer only asked for $5 off of the price, and it still sold for more than I had it listed for on eBay or Poshmark. So, nice. I made more. I'm making more on that item than I would have had I sold it on either of the other two platforms where I had it listed, and where people were dragging their feet on buying it. So I'm very happy with that. And again, I'll, share that with you guys next week. But if that's, all you wanted to see was what I sold this week, I never have a lot of sales. I think the most I've ever had was like 12 or 14, and I think it was around the holidays, when things were a little bit busier, and I don't know even what's going to happen this summer because things are already slow, and it's not even summer yet. It's like we're just getting into it, and it's already very, very slow. I did have some activity because I changed up I made a mass change to all of my listings on eBay. So that's where 3 of the sales came from. I'm, pretty sure that had something to do with it. But anyway, so this week, I think I made around $40 profit after all the fees and the shipping and packing stuff, the boxes and all of that. 40, maybe 50 at the most profit, which is fine because for me, if I can do that every week, it's given me something to do. I like doing it. It's interesting for me. I like finding things that are weird and unusual, and even if I don't make that much money on them, if I make my money back and I make a little bit of profit, for now this is fine for me. And I know the things that I need to do to change it so that I can make more money. But at this juncture, it doesn't really matter that much if I'm making a lot or if I'm making more. And, I'm enjoying it. And, yeah, so that's what's going on. Yeah, okay, so I haven't had my shower yet. I normally do a shower before I do my video. But stupid basketball games. Okay, so let me explain. For those of you who have not been around for a while, I can't take showers where I live. So I got a membership at Planet Fitness, and they're open 24 hours a day, and I can go take a shower whenever. But because it has started getting really hot here, and it's been like 100 degrees, and that's not even super hot yet. That's just like nice summer weather for Phoenix. Anyway, it's been 100 or close to 100 for the past week or so, and I have a black car, so I can't go. I mean, I could go, but then it's pointless. I don't want to go take my shower during the day because I'll come out to a hot, sweaty car, and then I'll just get gross on my way home. My AC works, but if the car's been sitting out in the sun, it takes a while for it to get cold, and so I'll be a sweaty mess by the time I get home. So I need to take my shower after the sun has gone down. And there is a sports bar that is huge right next to my Planet Fitness. And I can't go to a different Planet Fitness because I have the lowest cost membership, which doesn't allow you to go to any location you want to go to. So I have to go to the one where I signed up. And the parking lot, if there's any kind of sports thing going on, like I think it was baseball recently. I don't even remember. Or no, it was football. I think it was football. It was football, and now it's the stupid basketball stuff. So And it's every night. There's a stupid basketball game every night. So I'm going to have to go to the gym tomorrow morning before the sun comes up. Um, so that I am not dealing with all the drunken morons from the sports bar next to the gym. The parking lot is jam packed whenever there's any kind of sporting event going on. Doesn't matter what night of the week it is. The sports bar is packed. The parking lot is packed, and it's kind of questionable. And it's dark too. They don't have a lot of lights in the parking lot, so it's a little, sketchy, for lack of a better description. And I don't really want to go deal with drunk people. Leaving the bar, going into the bar, hanging out in the park, whatever. I don't want to deal with it. So I am going to have to go in the morning. I finally decided today, I was like, I don't want to wait anymore. So I'm just going to go in the morning. So you guys are getting fancy me. Okay, so that was that. I made some purchases. I went to a Whatnot auction, I think on the 18th. I watched one. And I had started out watching ADH Dave, or who used to be NC Picker. I was watching his Whatnot, and I think I was watching his Whatnot. Anyway, they decided to do a raid on these other people, and I ended up buying a few items from them, just 3 things. Most of it, I think at least 2 of the items I will be able to resell for more than I paid for them. So, or I should be able to. And anyway, I don't know what the shipping deal is with Whatnot, if this is normal, but I gotta turn my air conditioning down because it's getting a little roasty in here. Feels warm. I don't know. Maybe it's a random hot flash. Wouldn't surprise me. Anyway, I bid on this stuff, and it was Thursday night that I won the items. So they had Friday and Saturday. I ship on Fridays, or I usually ship on Saturday, but I can ship on a Friday if I need to. And they still haven't taken the stuff to the post office. So I don't know how long Whatnot gives you. And maybe it's just me. I don't like to sit on things for that long. If somebody buys something from me on Thursday, I'm probably going to ship it Saturday. Or at the very latest, it's going to get shipped on Monday, even though I don't normally ship on Mondays. If I had somebody that bought something on Thursday, I would probably either leave it for the mailman to pick up, or the carrier, the postal carrier, to pick up, or I would make a trip to the post office or something. I would figure out a way to get it there so that it would get shipped. I got the tracking numbers, but the items are still not at the post office. So I don't know if Whatnot, is just less concerned about shipping times or what the deal is, but I was kind of surprised. But maybe it's just because I'm so weird about my shipping that I try to get things out sooner rather than later. I ship Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So, the longest it would take is if I sold something on Saturday and didn't ship it until Tuesday. So 3 days, that's the longest that it takes for me to ship. And that's why I've picked those days to do my shipping. I'm not going to the post office every day. So, if I can leave stuff outside for the postal carrier, I do. But that also makes me nervous because you get porch pirates, and I don't feel like having, a bunch of packages go missing because some loser decided to steal things off the porch. So, I'd rather take them to the post office than I know they got there, or UPS, or wherever I need to go, so anyway, I think that's it. As far as this week's video, I don't think there was anything else I was going to talk to you guys about. I have no footage from doing anything because it's too hot now. I will at some point share a couple pictures with you guys of what my room looks like now. because it's getting so hot out, it's been getting up to like 82 or 83 degrees in my room, and that's with my air conditioner on. And it's because there are two windows in this room where they're not double pane or anything, and there's no insulation in the wall below those windows. So the heat, I mean, you can just put your hand, you don't even have to touch the wall. You can put your hand up a few inches away from it, you can feel the heat coming in. So what I did is I went and bought 1 inch foam board insulation, and I haven't, I cut it down to the right size so that it would fit and go around the light sockets and stuff like that. I've got 2 sheets pushed against the wall in front of my desk, covering a good majority of the window. This is the same window that my AC has to vent out of. So I've got a portable AC unit in here. So the vent is at one end of the window, so that part can't be covered. But I've got towels wrapped around the vent hose to keep the heat from that escaping. And then I've got the foam board up against the wall, and I've got to still do the other window, but it's back in a corner behind some furniture that I'm going to have to try and move, which is going to be very interesting. But I need to get that window covered also because there was a lot of heat coming in from that. And then my mother has a wall unit air conditioner over on this wall that I don't use because it really doesn't do anything anyway. But there's gaps around the edge of it where the heat's coming in. So I have to cover that. I think I'm going to fold up a garbage bag and use the blue tape, painter's tape, so that way it doesn't stick too much, to put a bag over the unit and around the edges of the unit so that the heat can't come in from the outside. And we'll hopefully be able to, hopefully that'll work until I really don't want to be here next summer and deal with this again. I have got to, hopefully one of these places that I've applied to will accept me and I'll get an apartment somewhere. It's really bad here, and I need to move, but I have issues that I have to work around, and so I've got to wait until I can get in somewhere where they base your income, or where they base your rent on your income, and it's on a sliding scale. So anyway, so that's it for me. I hope you guys had a nice weekend, and I hope this week is great for everybody, and next weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye.